Thank you so much. We have two more talks before the closing remarks, and that will end our session for today. So, Jayson, right?
Yes.
So you're not just a stranger coming up the stage.
No, I've done that before.
Okay, it makes sense with your T-shirt. I would believe that. So Jayson Street, Vice President, InfoSec, SphereNY. The stage is yours.
Okay, cool. Hello, everyone. How's it going? I made these slides on the cab ride from Jerusalem to here, so it's short, sweet, and we're going to get to the point because I only got like 10 minutes. This is a talk about the biggest asset you're wasting right now. It's like currently mostly in bank and financial institutions. And I know that because I rob banks for a living. This is an episode from National Geographic in the upper left-hand corner where you can actually watch as I rob a bank. These two photos here are actually me robbing a bank, making a bank employee get up off of their machine. They're watching me as I compromise the machine, plug in the USB drive, and execute the code right there in front of them. And then that's me actually going behind a teller line in a bank. It's like walking by, not talking to anybody, just being very nice and polite, and unplugging a computer, and then walking out of the bank with it. That's what I do for a living. So guess what your biggest asset you're wasting is? People, your users. It's like because information security has a really bad attitude about when it comes to users. We always want to say stupid user clicked on a link, stupid user went to a website. Stupid information security didn't properly train their users. That's the key. We keep trying to put more and more technology to protect our users and protect it from the people element instead of actually using people to protect our technology. And that's where we've been having a biggest problem. Anybody here works at a bank, and do tellers go into training, yes or no, if there's a robbery? Do you train your tellers how to respond when someone with a ski mask and a shotgun shows up? It's like they go through training, they go through educational processes, they go through drills, they go through processes. Why not when a guy in a suit and a USB drive show up? Nope. We didn't figure that out. I've literally, every engagement I've gone on, and it's 100% success rate to every client that I've robbed a bank on. It's like I'm usually with a fake Microsoft badge, dressed a little bit nicer than this. Sorry, my suitcase is still in Chicago. But it's like, and I've got a USB drive. And I literally walk behind the teller line and I get access. It's because we're actually not training our employees to look for that aspect, but we're expecting them to do it. If you hire someone that does deliveries, if you're hiring a delivery driver, it's like, first of all, on the first day of the job, do you just give them the keys going like, well, you must know how to drive, here you go? Or do you talk to him about what's expected of him? Do you talk about what he needs to do as a delivery driver, what he's expected, what his roles are? It's like make sure that he uses his seat belt, make sure he uses his turn signals, make sure that he's following the speed limit. You actually care about that so much that you actually put the phone number on the back of the vehicle so if he is doing something bad, someone can report him. But when users come in, it's like you're giving them the computer, the access to your machine, the access to millions of dollars, and you're saying, yeah, here you go, here's how you do this, this and that, so you should be great. But not talking about the security aspect of it. 91% of cyber attacks start with one important thing, a phish, an email. Target lost over 236 million USD. It's like, and it started from an HVAC company that's not even their company. It was a third-party partner who received one email and that user clicked. They lost $236 million because someone clicked an email. It's like we are not training our employees that that's what they need to look out for. We're not teaching them that that's a requirement, that they actually not just actually know how to do their job and work on their job, but how to secure the job because they are part of your security process. But in other words, we just like to make mistakes. We just like to blame them for mistakes. We teach them as, and they teach us, and they treat us like we're janitors. Not in enforcement. We're the guys that come up and clean the computer after they've compromised it. We're the guys that go and, whoa, okay. We're the guys that restage it. It's like, I feel like I'm in the hot seat now for sure. It's like, but they feel like that. They feel like we're the ones that are just coming and telling them no. Instead of being an ally and an asset to them. Do you realize that every one of your employees do their job day in and day out? Who's the first person that is going to recognize when something is out of place, something's not working right? Those employees. Have you given them an extension number? Have you given them an email to address and then encouraged them and empowered them when they saw something to report it? I broke into a bank in Amman, Jordan, and seriously, the bank manager was telling me right to my face, sir, you can't plug in that USB drive here. And the whole time I was like, you're right, I shouldn't plug this USB drive in. I don't know, yeah, you should, I know I'm supposed to be here, but if you don't know why I'm supposed to be here, hold on. You should definitely call someone, because I shouldn't be doing this if you didn't know I was supposed to do this. I shouldn't definitely not do that unless you knew I was supposed to be there. But yeah, you should contact someone. 5 machines I compromised before I got behind the teller line and I was too close to a stack of money and she freaked out, you know, and it's like, so you need to leave now. And I was like, no, trust me, I don't want the money. I just want to plug this into the computer. And she's like, no, it's like, you have to leave now. It's like, well, let me go get more documentation. And I was able to walk out with no problem. The reason why that happened, she didn't know who to report it to. She didn't know who to call. You have the biggest intrusion detection system that you're ever going to have. But if you're not actually fine-tuning it and programming and stuff, why are you upset when they fail you? If you put a snort intrusion detection system box or any other kind of intrusion detection system in your network, and as soon as you install it, you go, done. Don't be upset when you're not getting any proper signatures, when you're not getting proper alerts, or you're getting flooded with alerts, because you're not taking the time to fine-tune it. So fine-tune your users, actually make them more security aware. That saves you money in the long run. Not just the blinky boxes that give you the reassurance to your CEOs and your CIOs that you're taking precautions, but actually train your employees and start treating them as an asset to your company, not a liability. So I'm going to leave it open to questions because I think I've got a couple minutes. This is also the shortest talk I've ever given in my life, so it's like hopefully y'all have gotten some information out of that. And I'll be around for at least another 30 minutes if you want to talk more because I like to talk. So are there any questions? What I do, oh, by the way, I'm sorry. I'm one of those guys that's like, if I don't get any questions but I have still time, I will randomly pick someone from the audience to ask me a question. So, yes. Do you have a question?
Yeah, I'm going to go to the stage and ask you a question.
Okay. I thought he was just going to kick me off.
Yeah,
It's like, okay, that's
I
awesome.
thought you might ask. So I have a question for you. So the thing is that we're going to fail with educating users.
Why?
Because that's the way it is, you know? Like, it doesn't matter how many security solutions you put in the car, people still drive while they're under the influence of drugs, while they drink, they fall asleep, they talk on the phone, they kill themselves. And we've been to that story for many years.
But not delivery drivers.
Oh, maybe, I don't know. The thing is that the solution is, and whatever will be, to take the responsibility out of the user and put it back to the supplier. For example, in that sense, creating autonomous cars. So then you will take the responsibility out of the users. The user cannot kill themselves anymore. My question to you is, what do you see? Do you really think that education can solve this problem? And if not, what would be a solution?
Every form of technology we have today, it's like, and I call it the OSI model, right? There's 7 layers of the topology of the network. It's like, there's a layer 8, and that layer 8 is the human layer. Because you have technology right now that says, you're going to a sketchy site, do you want to continue, yes or no? It's like your technology is working fine. It is telling you that you're going to go sketchy. But you know what's on the other side of that website? Someone sent a link saying there's dancing kittens. I'm clicking yes. I want to see the dancing kittens. It's the human layer that you can go past. It's like it doesn't matter what your technology is. If your human can bypass it, then that human's still going to be the flaw. It's like we teach if you put someone on an assembly line, they have to do things securely. It's like if they don't, they lose their job. It's like, why are we letting them use their computers insecurely and still being employed and not getting an impact on it? It's like the whole thing is we're not holding them to the same standards as we hold anybody else on another job that's actually dealing with sensitive data or things that could damage the company. That's our failing. It's like, and that's what we need. And people hate me because it's like, I'm not talking about stupid users. I'm talking about information security that needs to change. But we do. It's like, we're not going to build, there's not enough blinky boxes in the world to protect a human that wants to see dancing kittens.
Perfect.
Right.
Thank you so much.
Right.
Thank you for coming. So we're going to have the last talk before the closing remarks. And the last talk, I want to invite to the stage Rav Shalom Revivo, FinTech and Cyber Innovation Manager, the Israeli Ministry of Finance. Rav, are you ready?